Let me tell you about two people, Michael and David. They grew up in the same neighborhood, went to the same schools, got similar jobs paying roughly the same salary, around $60,000 a year. Fast forward 15 years, Michael is stressed. He's got credit card debt, no savings. He's terrified of unexpected bills. At 40 years old, he has a negative net worth. David, he owns his home, he's got investments, he takes vacations without guilt. He sleeps peacefully at night, knowing his family is financially secure. Same starting point, same income, completely different outcomes. What happened? It wasn't luck, it wasn't inheritance, it wasn't some secret investment tip. The difference came down to 7 critical money mistakes that Michael made over and over again, mistakes that David avoided. And here, the scary part. Most people are making these exact same mistakes right now without even realizing it. Today, I'm going to break down all 7 of them. And if you recognize yourself in any of these, don't worry. Awareness is the first step to fixing it. Let's get into it. Before we dive in, I want you to do something. Keep a mental count of how many of these mistakes you're currently making. Be brutally honest with yourself. No one's watching, no one's judging, because here's the truth. I've made almost every single one of these mistakes myself at some point. Most people have. The difference between staying broke and building wealth isn't about being perfect. It's about recognizing the problem and fixing it before it's too late. All right, let's start with the one that destroys more people financially than almost anything else. Mistake number 1, having no emergency fund. Imagine this. You're driving to work on a regular Tuesday morning. Everything's fine. Life is normal. Then you hear it. That horrible grinding noise from your engine. You pull over. Smoke coming from under the hood. The mechanic gives you the news. $1,500 to fix it. Now, if you have an emergency fund, this is annoying. It's frustrating. But it's just a speed bump. You pay it, move on with your life. But if you don't have an emergency fund, this is a crisis. You put it on a credit card, that credit card charges you 22% interest. You can only afford minimum payments. That $1,500 repair turns into $2,000. Then $2,500, or maybe you can't even get a credit card. So you take out a payday loan. Now you're paying 300% interest. I'm not exaggerating, that's a real number. One unexpected expense just started a debt spiral that could take you years to escape. And here's what people don't understand. Emergencies are not rare. They're not what-if situations. They're when situations. Studies show that the average person faces a financial emergency roughly every 10 to 12 months. Car repairs, medical bills, job loss, home repairs, family emergencies. If you don't have cash set aside for these moments, you're not living, you're just waiting for the next crisis to push you further into debt. The fix is simple, but not easy. Build an emergency fund. Start with $1,000. That's your first target. Then work your way up to 3 months of expenses. Eventually, 6 months. Keep it in a high-yield savings account where it earns some interest but stays completely accessible. This isn't exciting. It won't make you rich. But it's the foundation that everything else is built on. Without it, you're building a financial house on sand. Mistake number 2, lifestyle inflation. This one is sneaky. It creeps up on you so slowly that you don't even notice it happening. Let me explain with a story. Sarah started her first job making $35,000 a year. She had a small apartment, a used car, and she was careful with money because she had to be. She wasn't comfortable, but she survived. 5 years later, Sarah's making $60,000. She nearly doubled her income. That's amazing, right? But somehow, she's still living paycheck to paycheck. How is that possible? Let's look at what happened. When she got her first raise, she thought, I deserve a nicer apartment, so her rent went up by $400 a month. Next raise, I need a reliable car. She got a brand new car with a $500 monthly payment. Then, I work hard. I should dress the part. New wardrobe, designer bags, nice shoes. Then, I'm so busy. I don't have time to cook. Food delivery apps, restaurants, expensive coffee every morning. Each upgrade felt justified. Each one felt small. But added together, Sarah's lifestyle expenses grew faster than her income. This is lifestyle inflation. And it's the silent killer of wealth. Here's the math that nobody wants to hear. If you make $35,000 and spend $34,000, you save $1,000 a year. If you make $60,000 and spend $59,000, you still only save $1,000 a year. Your income doubled, your wealth building didn't change at all. Now imagine if Sarah had kept her expenses closer to that original $35,000 lifestyle. Even if she allowed some upgrades, let's say, spending $40,000 a year instead of $59,000, that's $19,000 a year she could be saving and investing. Over 10 years, invested at 8% average returns, that becomes over $300,000. $300,000. That's the true cost of lifestyle inflation. It's not the stuff you bought, it's the wealth you never built. The rule is simple. When your income goes up, your savings rate should go up first. Lifestyle upgrades come second if at all. Mistake number 3, only paying the minimum on debt. Credit card companies love you. You know why? Because you're their best customer. You pay them interest every single month like clockwork. You never miss a payment, so they can't charge you late fees. But you also never pay off the balance, so the interest just keeps flowing into their pockets. Let me show you how brutal this actually is. Let's say you have $5,000 in credit card debt. Pretty common number. Your interest rate is 22% also. Very common. Your minimum payment is about $100 a month. If you only pay that minimum, do you know how long it takes to pay off that $5,000? 9 years. 9 years of payments. And do you know how much you'll pay in total? Over $9,000. You borrowed $5,000. You paid back $9,000. The credit card company made $4,000 in pure profit just from your interest payments. $4,000. That's a vacation, that's a used car, that's almost half a year of retirement contributions gone. Transferred directly from your pocket to a corporation's balance sheet. And this is just one credit card with a relatively small balance. Here's what the wealthy understand. Debt is an emergency, not a mild inconvenience, not just something everyone has an emergency. Every dollar you pay in interest is a dollar that will never work for you. It will never grow, it will never compound. It's just gone. The solution? Pay more than the minimum. As much more as you possibly can. Use the debt avalanche method, pay off highest interest rate first. Or use the debt snowball, pay off smallest balance first. For psychological wins, either works. Just pick one and attack that debt like your financial future depends on it, because it does. Mistake number 4, not knowing where your money goes. Quick question. How much did you spend on food last month? Not a rough guess. The actual number. How about entertainment, transportation, subscriptions? If you can't answer these questions within $50 of accuracy, you have a problem. And you're not alone. Most people have no idea where their money actually goes. I call this financial fog. You're walking through your financial life with a blindfold on, hoping you don't walk off a cliff. Here's a real scenario that happens every single day. Someone makes $4,000 a month after taxes. At the end of the month, they have nothing left. They think, I guess I just don't make enough money. But when they actually track their spending, they discover $300 on food delivery they didn't realize added up. $150 on subscriptions they forgot they had, $200 on random Amazon purchases, $400 on miscellaneous spending they can't even remember. That's over $1,000 a month of spending that's basically invisible to them. That's $12,000 a year. Gone, vanished into thin air. This is why budgeting matters. Not because it's fun, not because it's exciting, but because you cannot optimize what you don't measure. You wouldn't run a business without knowing your expenses, right? Well, your personal finances are the most important business you'll ever run. And right now, most people are running it blind. The fix? Track every single dollar for at least 1 month. Use an app, use a spreadsheet, use pen and paper. I don't care how you do it, just do it. I promise you, you will be shocked at what you find. Everyone is. And that shock is the first step to actually changing your behavior. Mistake number 5, trying to look rich instead of being rich. Let me introduce you to the 2 types of wealth. There's show wealth, the appearance of having money, the luxury car, the designer clothes, the expensive watch, the fancy apartment in the trendy neighborhood. And there's real wealth, actual assets, investments, savings, equity, things that make you money while you sleep. Here's the cruel irony. These 2 types of wealth are often opposites. The more you spend on looking rich, the less money you have to actually become rich. I'll tell you a story about 2 neighbors. One neighbor drives a brand new BMW, wears expensive suits, has the latest iPhone every year. His house is filled with designer furniture. To everyone on the street, He looks wealthy. The other neighbor drives a 10-year-old Honda, wears normal clothes. His house is nice, but modest. Nothing flashy at all. To everyone on the street, he looks middle class, but here, as what the neighbors do on C, the BMW guy has $30,000 in car debt, $15,000 in credit card debt, and about $2,000 in savings. His net worth is negative. The Honda guy has zero debt, a paid-off house, and $400,000 in investments. He could retire tomorrow if he wanted to, who's actually rich. This isn't a made-up example. Study after study confirms this pattern. The book, The Millionaire Next Door, found that most actual millionaires drive used cars, live in modest homes, and avoid flashy spending. Meanwhile, the people who look the richest are often drowning in debt, desperately trying to maintain an image they can't afford. This is called being asset-rich versus stuff-rich, and the difference determines whether you'll ever achieve financial freedom. Ask yourself honestly, are you spending money to impress people? People who, by the way, are too busy worrying about themselves to actually care about what you drive or wear. Every dollar you spend on looking rich is a dollar you could have invested in actually becoming rich. Choose wisely. Mistake number 6, waiting to invest. I'll start investing when I make more money. I'll start when I pay off my debt. I'll start when things calm down. I'll start next year. These are the most expensive words in personal finance. Let me show you why with some simple math. Meet two people, early Emma and late Lisa. Early Emma starts investing $200 a month at age 25. She does this for 10 years, then stops completely at age 35. Never invests another dollar. Her total contribution, $24,000. Late Lisa waits until she's 35 to start. Then she invests $200 a month for 30 years straight all the way until she's 65. Her total contribution, $72,000. Who has more money at age 65? Lisa invested 3 times more money over 3 times as many years. She should win easily, right? Wrong. At 8% average annual returns, Emma, who only invested for 10 years, has roughly $620,000. Lisa, who invested for 30 years, has around $300,000. Emma has more than double Lisa's money, despite investing 70% less. How is this possible? Compound interest. Time is the secret ingredient that makes money grow exponentially, and the earlier you start, the more time your money has to multiply. Every year you wait is a year of compounding you'll never get back. I don't care if you can only invest $50 a month right now. Invest at $20, invest it. Get started. Let time do its work. Your future self will thank you or curse you, depending on whether you take action today or keep making excuses. Mistake number 7, never learning about money. This is the mistake that enables all the other mistakes. Think about it. We spend 18 years in school learning algebra, history, literature, chemistry, all valuable subjects. But personal finance, budgeting, investing, taxes, debt, the stuff that directly determines our quality of life for the next 60 years, maybe one semester, maybe nothing at all. We resent into the adult world to manage hundreds of thousands of dollars over our lifetime with zero training. And then we're surprised when people make terrible financial decisions. This isn't your fault. The system failed you. But here's the thing. Now that you're an adult, it becomes your responsibility to fix it. Every wealthy person I've ever studied